Welcome to G Free with Friends and Family. Today I'm going to do a product review on one of my favorite things. It's something that I have been amazed about ever since I first tasted it, and I'm going to share it with you. Beyond Burgers by Beyond Meat. Let me see. It's gluten free, no soy, and it's a burger, and it tastes a lot like beef. Before I discovered that I had a gluten intolerance, I used to eat other vegan meat products. And after I discovered that I was gluten intolerant, I realized that a lot of these products contain gluten. So when I found out that Beyond Meat is gluten free, I rushed to taste it. And I was amazed. It was really, really good. So I'm going to cook it for you, and although I already know how it tastes, and you won't be able to taste it through the video, I just want to talk about this product and how great it is. So I'm going to heat the pan. Pour a little oil. Oops, that might be a little too much, but it is what it is. I found these at a good price in my neighborhood supermarket, which they don't have them there that often. This is hot. I'm so anxious and so hungry. You're going to have to excuse me a little bit. Fire's up a little too high. Yeah. So yeah, they had them there, and I was surprised because they had them at a good price. Most places now, they're like $8, which is a lot to me because it's like, two burgers come in a pack. But they had them for $6.99, which was pretty good. Well, it's $1 less, but still, that's good. A savings is a savings, and I'm frugal. Yeah, these actually have a little oil in them on their own, so I really didn't need to put that oil in the pan, and definitely not as much as I did. But they cook up pretty quickly because they're not meat. And yeah. On the package, it says, let me see if you can see the instructions. It says to, what does it say? I have to tell you to heat it. Oh, 4 minutes per side. I usually cook mine a little longer than that so that it browns up really nicely. And I like my burgers a little crispy on the outside. I don't think that's been 4 minutes. Oh, but it's browning, but I like mine a little browner than that. So I'll let that rest. Use the sound of my garbage can opening and closing on its own. Yeah. It's smoking a little bit. Flip it over. Let me fire it down a little bit. It smells so good. And these are great because you can grill them on a regular grill. Anything that you could do with, ground meat, you can do with a Beyond Burger. So that's a good thing. Ooh. So good. Hasn't been 4 minutes, but fire's a little high. Yeah. I'm going to be eating these without a bun today because I don't have any. I don't feel like going to the store, and I'm trying to eat less carbs. So these things are pretty filling on their own. Sorry about that. You have it. So they cooked up pretty quickly, and it smells so good, and I'm so hungry. Mm. And thirsty. So I'm going to fix it up like I would any burger, except for I'm eating it without a bun. I like to put a little mustard and mayo on my burgers. So I'll make a little dipping sauce. Oops. There we go. How do you like to eat your burgers? I'm not a big fan of ketchup, not even on my fries. I tend to like my fries. Like, I don't know if you ever heard of pommes frites or you know any German French fry places. They always use a mayo-based um, sauce for their fries, and sometimes straight mayo. Except for I don't do that. I like pickles with my burgers too. And these are some homemade pickles that I made out of those little Persian cucumbers. Make a brine out of salt and garlic and water and vinegar. And I just slice them up and put them in there and keep them for a couple days. Ooh, the consistency is like meat too. I'm sorry, I'm jumping all over the place. But yeah, the pickles, you keep them in a jar for a couple days and you have pickles. Yeah, and they're good. When they're freshly made, they're kind of crunchy too, which I like. Mmm, so good. And it's amazing how much like a beef burger this actually tastes. It's good. And these pickles, I love pickles. I actually make them so that I can have pickles all the time. Yeah, that's how much I love them. And it's funny because I have friends that will ask me to make things like pickles or infused olive oil, and those things are so simple to make. It's like, just make them yourself. Why are you asking me to do that? Yeah, but they do. Mm. Yeah. I used to make skincare products because I have so many allergies. At the time, I didn't know why, but It has a lot to do with my gluten intolerance and an autoimmune condition. But yeah, my skin's always been very dry, very sensitive, and so I couldn't use a lot of perfumey things, and I started making my own stuff because I realized that it was most likely the ingredients that they put into these things as opposed to the fact that they actually smelled. So when I would make things like lotions and creams and stuff like that, I would scent them with essential oils. And that's a little expensive, so I could understand why these big companies don't do that. But it's a lot healthier for you. And yeah, I started this Facebook page. It's called Quite Naturally. That's what my products were called. And I list ingredients on the page. And people still ask me, could you make that for me? I'm like, no, I don't do that anymore. Make it yourself. But you know, people get lazy, I guess. But yeah. Mm. I remember one time there was this perfume. I think it was called Fire or something like that. And it had this commercial. And it said it had the woman spray the perfume. And then you saw the flames coming up. And it said, feel the fire. Well, that commercial looked so good. I went out and I bought some of that perfume. I sprayed that stuff on my neck and my skin started burning. I couldn't even wash it off with regular soap. I had to take an alcohol pad and just like rub it all over me. And my mother's looking at me. She's like, what made you think that you could go out and buy a perfume, especially named Fire? She's like, yeah, you're feeling the fire all right. My mother had a sense of humor. I think that's where I get it from too. I'm kind of like funny, not funny. But yeah, I think I laugh at my own jokes more than anybody else does. mm. But yeah, back to these burgers. I don't have any GMOs. Beyond Meat is a really good company. This is just a plant-based burger. I don't know how they do it. I think they say they make it with pea protein, whatever that is. Mm. Mm. If I knew what it was, I'd probably try to make it myself. But I don't really have time for that. Now I'm like those other people. Could you make this for me? Yeah. Mm. Yeah, this is really good. And it's filling too, even without the bun. I'm getting full already. No. Mm. Can you see it? The burger. It's good. Mm. You should try these. Even if you're a meat eater, it's good every now and then to, like switch things up. I would like to see what you think about it. I love them. Oh, and they have these sausages. They call them brats. I guess bratwurst. And I like the hot Italian style of the sausage. To me, it tastes just like a sausage. It's really good. I do sausage and peppers with that. Or sometimes I'll just like mix it up with like a hot dog. I put mustard and sauerkraut on it. Um, Slice it up and have it with pasta. It's really good. And I heard that they have oh no, they do. They have this a sausage patty they made. You know, like was it Parks or something that used to? I don't know if they did, but little sausage patties. Oh, like they have at McDonald's the egg McMuffins, and they're supposed to be really good. I think they have them in some sort of fast food place. I don't know if it's Dunkin' Donuts or maybe not. I don't know, somewhere, but they don't have it on gluten-free bread. So, but they're serving a breakfast, and that's what they do when they're trying to, like, I guess, preview their products. They'll put them in a restaurant first, and then I guess if the reaction to them is good, they put it in stores so that the general public, can buy them on their own. It's like I almost didn't try the sausages because they put them. They was serving them on pretzel bread first of all. It wasn't gluten free. But some places you can go and you say, okay, give me a lettuce wrap or something like that. But no one cooked them like they were supposed to be cooked. And I mean, they're plant based, so I guess they say, oh, we don't have to cook this too much. We'll just heat it up. That's not what you do. You have to cook it for it to get the consistency of of meat. And so people would serve it and be all like mushy. And I said to myself, I bet I could cook this better at home. So when it came into the supermarkets, I tried it. And I did. I like those, when you grill things and you get those grill marks on it. That's what I like. So I cooked it like that. Perfect. I love those things. But I eat a lot of whole foods and not processed things, so I don't eat a whole lot of them. But they're definitely great in the summer. Like if you're going to a cookout or something, and for me, it's like I'm pescatarian and I'm gluten free, so I bring my own stuff. You know, bring a little piece of aluminum foil, put it on top of the grill, cook my stuff up, toast my buns or whatever I have, and that's it. And then I'm like everybody else. It's a little, trouble. And sometimes people look at me and they sometimes make comments, like, oh. But it's when I eat, I'm eating the same thing that everybody else is eating. Which brings me to a story. In my intro, I said that I wanted people to know that being gluten free is the same thing, only different. Well, I should have said eating gluten free is the same thing, only different than glutinous food. Or it can be, and it should be. It should feel like that. And I got that little saying, same thing, only different, from a story that my mother used to tell me about her math. She had a math teacher. And there was a girl in the class that would always get the answers wrong. And the teacher would say, like, well, how did you get that answer? And the girl would, say whatever. And the teacher always said, same thing, only different. And my mother and I thought she was just trying to make the girl feel like she wasn't, she wasn't dumb. And I'm like, well, math is a science. How could something be the same but different? It's a science. There's formulas and, whatever. So years and years later, I have a child of my own, my first child. She was in the 9th grade, and she was taking college algebra, but she had to actually go to the college to take these classes. So I wasn't going to let my baby go to a college class on her own, so I asked if I could go with her. So I'm sitting in the class, and I think there's only 3 people in the class because it was like this advanced thing that they were doing with high school students. And there were 2 other girls, and they didn't get the formula that the teacher, was trying to get them to use. And so I was like, oh, well, you don't have to do it that way. You could do it this way. And then I showed them a different way. And then I looked up, and the professor was looking at me like, and I just said, okay, I'll leave now. She nodded, and I left. But that's when I realized things can be the same but different. Like, I showed these girls how they can get the right answer using a different method than the professor was teaching, and it was the same, only different. And that's how it can be applied to math. But, it could also be applied to other things in life, like gluten-free food. So gluten-free food can be delicious and yummy and enjoyable just like everything else. And that's one of the things that I want to do with this channel. It's like I want to show not just people who have gluten intolerances that they can have a normal life. Because, when you have something like that, it's like you kind of feel not normal at first. But I want to show them that they can have a normal life. And I want to show people in their lives that they're still normal and that this stuff is good. This is good food. Yeah, I just like people to know that. So, same thing, only different. Anyway, I'm gonna go now, even though I didn't finish eating this. Oh well, I won't go now. I'll go in a bit. I'd just like to say, even if you have something that changes your life drastically in your mind, because it's not reality, even if you're going through something like that, always take time to count your blessings, because there's always something to be grateful for. Count your blessings, and then go out and be a blessing to somebody else. Until next time.